All right. It is Mewtwo's birthday today. So I thought it was only right that we would go through and continue slash start a dedicated stream for Mewtwo. I know I did quite a few soft resets for Mewtwo while we did DA weekend and stuff, but I think it'd be good to it's a special day. So might as well dedicate the stream to Mewtwo and honestly see if we can't get the little boy green. I think that's really what we're going for. I mean, it's on the bingo card for the year, and uh, just why not, basically. So, guys, the layout, oh my goodness, is I like it, but kind of scuffed because I had to do it like 4 times because window capture is awful sometimes in OBS, but I don't think it turned out too bad. Got the little shiny boy there in the middle in Cerulean Cave and doing 8 hunts. So I know I could probably optimize the screen real estate a little bit more, but I can only fit so many Game Boy instances on my screen, so this is what we're going with. Going for the multi hunt. What are the odds we get it first reset? I mean, shiny odds, but it'd be nuts. All right, let's see. First time. Nope. All right, so just a whole bunch of clicking buttons today. That's what we're doing. Clicking buttons and then making sure we keep track of how many times we hit the buttons. Because if not, then what's the point in counting if you forget to count? So, see how well we can keep it synced. Now, these are all like, it's the same game, but different instances of it. I would love to have 8 copies of the game. I just don't have 700 more dollars to buy that many of them. And even more once you count getting all the extra operators and stuff like that. But, oh, see, almost forgot. Almost forgot to count it. I don't know, and I'm excited to eventually get this shiny, see how long it takes and stuff, but it'd be a really cool way to like retire this save file. Really get the living dex from it. I think there's some really cool things that we can do. I'm really excited to start playing Sapphire. I'm gonna do a Professor Oak challenge for that one. I don't know um, how much of that I would stream and stuff, but plan to record a lot of it, do updates throughout and stuff. But I think it'll be a really cool one to do. Never done a Professor Oaks challenge before, so just kind of waiting to start that to once we get through with this. And I also need to change out the battery in that cartridge just in case. I do have like my soldering kit. Biggest thing is I just got the voltmeter or the multimeter from my dad to make sure the battery's good before I put it in. Got a couple cool shiny hunts planned on some of these old games that I'd like to start getting to. Let's see. I do really like shiny Mewtwo. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually had one, so this would be a cool one to get the first. But not like the most OG of OG shiny Mewtwo's that you can get, but it feels like it playing it in Fire Red. One thing that I think is really funny, and I'm not sure where exactly I fall um, on this topic, is like a lot of people will say Gen 1 and they love playing the Gen 1 games and then talk about like all the hours that they spent playing Fire Red and Leaf Green. And it's like, no, like it's a Generation 3 game. There are some big key differences than the Gen 1 games. Like, I know you didn't like sorting through the boxes in Pokemon Red and Blue, but I've always found that interesting. Like, I understand, like, it's Kanto, and Kanto was the first generation, but it's not Gen 1. Or not, yeah, not Gen 1, Gen 3. I do think a lot of people who are very active in Pokemon, Gen 3 was really their introduction with the Game Boy Advance rather than the Game Boy Color, because those people are old now, like 30, man. Couldn't be me, not yet. I think it's over when I hit 30. Not actually, kind of. Getting ready to hit 25. That's bad enough. This really is just like a button simulator. Just hitting 4 buttons total. See how long I can do this. I mean, I'm already no. I mean, I've very very beginning of this shiny hunt. Like I don't expect to get this until probably well into the tens, 20,000s. Like things are hardcore, but it would be cool to get it early. I think I will eventually. I just need to shiny hunt more. It's not. I normally just play through the game, dabble in competitive, for sure. Fill out my Pokédex and stuff, but I think it'll be cool to dip into this world in terms of Pokemon. The only one I haven't really ever dipped into though is the trading card game. Aside from Pocket now, but I collect the cards, but it's just so hard to play. I think I feel like I'd be so far behind if I attempted. Yeah, definitely more of a Pokédex person when it comes to this stuff. So I'm not sure what made me want to do shinies and try to go for them. Probably a lot of the content and stuff that I watch. Get a lot of shiny hunting done, and like again, it's shiny hunt the thing at the very end to cap off what's going on. I think that's a cool way to do it. I do remember, I guess, completing my very first Pokédex though. Um, I wouldn't have completed Fire Red and Leaf Green as a kid. I never had a link cable, um, so it was actually Diamond and Pearl. Pearl's Pokédex was the very first one that I completed, and it was the Pokemon that I missed to complete it, and I had to go back for was freaking Luminion. Like I remember it evolves at like level 31, 32 because I had like was trying. I caught a Finneon finally to go trying to evolve into a Luminion. It felt like it took forever to do, but did it. Got the decks in that game, and just naturally discovered uh, Turnback Cave with Giratina and stuff. I was like, oh my goodness, what's this new place on the map? That's so cool. And went and just explored, just running aimlessly through that cave, and then found Giratina and was not prepared at all. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I still have that Giratina to this day, and I caught it in an original Pokeball. Like, not an Ultra Ball, not a Dusk Ball, no Master Ball. I'd used it on Palkia. I was still a kid. Um, it was cool and then to still have that Giratina, I think is really cool. It's sitting safely in my Pokemon home, as safe as it can be in the cloud. I haven't debated if I'm gonna bring this Dex up to home yet or not. I think one thing that would be really cool is having like an origin dex or a master dex. There's a couple different names or formats and stuff for it, but to have one of every Pokemon from their original game. And I'm really torn on um, really torn on what I want to do for like the Gen 1 Pokemon. So, like, obviously, I have the Virtual Console games on the 3DS that I could transfer up through, and then they get the Game Boy mark, and it's pretty cool to have in home. I'm registered in that way. But then it's like, there's also the experience of taking them from the Game Boy through Pal Park and probably Heart Gold because it's a little bit easier to do it. Um, and then through Gen 5 in that little challenge, and then finally up to Bank and Bank to home. So I guess it really depends on like how much time I want to put into that. But I also think it'd be pretty cool just to leave this completed save file on the Game Boy rather than sending all the Pokemon away from it. We'll see. I don't think I'll make that decision until after I get this Mewtwo, though. So, because that's kind of caps it off. But then it's like I'm doing that already for the Hoenn games to get all the Hoenn Pokemon. So it's like, should I get the Kantomons in the Virtual Console that way? That I mean, sure, I just have to put them in bank, but it is still hard to do a full living dex in those Virtual Console games. So we'll see what happens. I do want to get a capture card for 3DS though. I don't think I want to put it in the 3DS that I have, just because that was like the one I had growing up. I think it'd be cool to get a second one, to put the capture card in to have like all the games and stuff on. Thought about once I get it transferring my data over and stuff to that one. We're just doing something to get the games on there. That way I can transfer them up the right way. I do think this is a cool shiny hunt though. Trying to get this Mewtwo. It just feels like I don't know, Mewtwo to me is like the legendary Pokemon, right? Like you think back to finding it for the very first time in this cave after that dude finally moves to like, oh my god, like there's Mewtwo, right? And it just kind of feels like like that's why the Master Ball there is like it's got the M for Mewtwo. That's what it feels like at least. So yeah, cool way to do it. It's kind of plugging through these encounters. Honestly, it helps being able to go up by 8 every time you reset. But it's, I wonder how long it would take, how many I can do in an hour. I think I started 15:34. I think is what I started at. So we'll see where we're at an hour into stream. Not doing. See how far we can get. Just like to push through these things and add it up as many as possible. Because obviously, the more times you encounter it, the better chance you have. But it's always the last one you encounter. I always thought that was so funny as a kid, like hearing that, like, oh, it's gonna be in the last place you look. It's like, yeah, because I found it. Like that's why it's the last place I looked. I'm not gonna keep looking. And I was always really confused by that. It's like, are you like making fun of me, or is it just like a saying, or what? I don't know. My great grandma was always like really superstitious and stuff, so she would like just say stuff, and it's like, yep, I'm gonna live by that for the rest of my life now. So I don't know. There's just all kinds of things she would say. I think the one that stuck with me the most um, was definitely uh, not walking through the house or anywhere with one sock on and one off. Like that's like bad luck. I'll never do it. A little more lenient with the shoes though. Sometimes you got to use the pivot foot. Get where you need to go. Not socks though. I do have some really comfy socks right now. I got them from American Eagle on sale. It was a 3 pack. Just like these really fluffy socks. I've never been one to wear stuff like that. It's usually just some like Nike or athletic sock like that I wear. But these are like, they're weirdly comfy. I'm not going to show my feet, but they are comfy. It's getting closer and closer to Pokemon Day, and it makes me really excited because I don't know. There's the potential for so many things to happen, and at the same time, there's the potential to just get a trailer for ZA. And honestly, I'm okay with either. Like, I just want a new Pokemon game. But if we could get some like hype stuff announced leading into the rest of this year, leading into next with the anniversary, that'd be pretty sick. I'm not gonna like it's so hard to not get your like hopes up and be like super excited about Pokemon Day because like they've done some banger stuff. Like I remember when they announced Legends and BDSP on the same Pokemon Day. I was still in college during COVID, and yeah, I was getting a COVID test because I played tennis and had to get those. So I'm like sitting there like trying to watch Pokemon Day, have one AirPod in, like it on my phone, like the ladies shoving the thing up my nose to put it in the test, and I'm like just, and then that's when they announced it. I'm like, oh my god, it's so hype! Like walking through the hallway like with it after I got the test done and everything, man. Nothing will beat that. That was so hype. I think it's the most like hype I've been for a Pokemon Day, like when it happened, at least in recent memory, right? But that was really cool. I mean, as a kid, it was a lot different. Like, I think there was one time that I was walking through, was it a Best Buy or something? But I was walking through it and there was a magazine, and that's how I saw um, that Pokemon Black and White were coming out. I saw like the pictures of Castelia City and the starters. And I'm just like sitting there flipping through this magazine, and it was so hyped to see that. So just want to capture that feeling with this Pokemon Day. I think. Oh no! See if I can't sync these guys up. There we go. So I really like this. It's 8-bit do or 8-bit do. I don't know how to say it. That controller is really nice. Uh, I have the one that is the switch button layout because I have a pro controller that I use for any other games on computer that I would use a controller for. So got it to match like the Nintendo layout because I knew that I'd be playing really Pokemon games with it. So it's been nice to have. And then I also use it for my my analog pocket or on my computer, where I can just really I could Bluetooth it to one of them and then have the dongle into the other because I can flip back and forth. But I usually just move the dongle because I have it plugged into the top of my computer. We're over 300 encounters in just under 30 minutes or so. It's not bad at all. Well, really, it's only about 20 minutes till when I started my recording right before. I like to try to run the ads as soon as I start stream so that the pre-roll's turned off. My biggest fear is accidentally resetting over the Mewtwo. Like, I'd probably throw up if that happened, truthfully. One thing I've been researching today is so I have a ridiculous monitor. It's the 49-inch ultra wide, and so I use my MacBook for work and have my computer for gaming, streaming, all that stuff. And I'm trying to find a good way to like have it as a hybrid setup without having to take and unplug all the cords or have a bunch of extra cords on my desk for like extra display port to Thunderbolt, all that stuff. So I'm trying to find some type of like USB switch. I'm thinking, and this might get a little bit crazy, is a USB switch for my keyboard, speaker, probably headset and camera for like when I take meetings and stuff. Just because the mic won't do it for compatibility issues. And then having a USB hub for the Mac so I can just do one cord and get power. And then plug the switch into the hub that goes into the Mac, and then also the switch into my computer, so I can switch back and forth as to like where the keyboard and stuff is. I don't mind doing the two mice because my main mouse just docks. It's a Razer mouse, but the I use the Magic Mouse for my MacBook. I like being able to do all the swipes and gestures and stuff with it. So looking at a couple different options. I think at minimum I am gonna get a USB switcher, just so I can send the keyboard and stuff back and forth. Even if that is an extra cord I have to plug into my MacBook. Just need to tidy him up. Speaking of, let me check on this Amazon package. This thing was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and then I watched the delivery driver like walk up to my apartment building, which there's no door, just open breezeway that anyone could get to. I watched them walk up to it with packages in their hands because I was getting home from work. And I just walked in. I'm like, okay, they'll probably drop the package off. I'll just check for it here in half an hour or something, give them time to deliver it. It's an apartment building. And then I get an email notification that carrier could not drop off your delivery, cannot access building. And it's like I watched the lady walk through the breezeway where you walk right into my door. That's where my door is. Says the apartment number on it. Like, what do you mean can't access? So then I like contacted Amazon support yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, nope, couldn't access it. We'll schedule the delivery for tomorrow." And okay, whatever. Now it's been out for delivery, and we live in the same town as like an Amazon hub, so it's like they're sending their trucks locally out to do stuff. This one's been out for delivery since like 10 a.m. and it does a little tracker thing, and the truck was literally across the street, and now it's completely across town. So I really want this package because it's like has some cable management stuff, some stuff for my desk at work, things like that. But I'm not hopeful that I'm gonna get that package today because they've already been over here and have gone back toward the distribution center on the complete other side of town. So kind of sucks. Wild. Never had that issue before with any other. I order way too many packages on Amazon and have never had that issue before. Almost to 2,000 encounters. All right, this takes us over 2,000. Not bad, considering this is the first like dedicated hunting time for it. Okay, 2006. I think that was the year I peaked. 6 years old, probably like what, first, second grade. That was life. All downhill since then. Because like I can remember life and have had to live it. I know it's that this Mewtwo is to cap off the living dex, and my dex is at 153, but I do have a couple of the Johto Pokemon that are available in this game. Like I like Scizor a lot for catching. Um, I also have the Raikou already, the Roamer, um, and then like a Smoochum because I wanted to get Jinx with my OT, and I bred it and forgot that Smoochum is in this game. Uh, so like a couple random ones like that. I think the same thing for Magby is the other one I have registered for a similar reason. I think it's crazy how many in-game trades that there are slash, or I guess really were, in games where it's like, yeah, here's a Farfetch for this random Spearow. Like I was Chading's the homie. Get fly and cut. If I'm not catching a Diglett to just beat Surge in this game, I usually pick up the Farfetch for cut and fly and stuff. But if not, Diglett learns cut, and I just use it because I'm gonna use it to beat Surge. And you really only need cut like twice, 3 times, something like that. What is it? Vermilion, Celadon, and then Rock Tunnel. I think that's it, 3 times. Could totally be another one. I know there's like some optional ones for items or skipping trainers and stuff, but in terms of required, I think that might be it. I wonder if they're gonna add any other shiny mythicals to home for the challenges. But right now we get Manaphy for BDSP, Meloetta for Scarlet and Violet plus DLC, and then Enamorous for Legends. I mean, that leaves Sword and Shield and Let's Go in home now that don't have some kind of reward. I could see him doing like do Meltan for Let's Go. You'd also obviously do a shiny Mew. Sword and Shield? I mean, do Keldeo. I mean, it was in the game, kind of like how Meloetta was in Scarlet and Violet. I'd like to see a Zero Aura. I mean, we fought it in that game. Could be a cool distribution. I guess there's not just a distribution, you have to do some work for it. I really like that way to like give away the shiny mythicals though. Like you have to complete the dexes and register them in home. And it's really funny to see like how many people have to go back and catch like every Pokemon in BDSP basically to register to home, just because they had them from like other games or just legends if they were completing living dexes and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool to see. I thoroughly enjoyed um, BDSP. Like they said, Faithful remake, so I went in not expecting any changes at all. Like it's just going to be updated graphics from the DS version, basically, which I was totally fine with. I replayed those games many times. Uh, you lose the nostalgia um, of playing on the DS or with those graphics, but I'm a big fan of like the chibi art style. I really like the Zelda games that do it. Um, I thought Link's Awakening was such a fun game, and just love the art in it. So then I was pleasantly surprised when they added things like the Grid Underground as a way to get a lot of the natural dex Pokemon. Um, or what else was different? That was like the biggest thing. The radar being different is unfortunate but understandable, considering the odds are halved just by default. there are broken things about the game, right? Like the shiny charm doesn't even work unless you're Masuda hunting, and then like why wouldn't you just use sword and shield kind of thing for Scarlet and Violet? So wish they would have fixed that with some of the updates. I liked the events they did to get the Darkrai Shaman. The fact that you can just go and get Arceus anytime is really cool. So I enjoyed the games a lot, and I plan to do a playthrough relatively soon to actually go back and get that Manaphy. That's what I'm working on the Scarlet and Violet decks for, to get the Meloetta. So it's kind of a cool way to re-experience the games right now while we're waiting on games, and then to make some content along the way. It's pretty cool. All right, shiny Mewtwo right here in the bottom, the middle right, by the way. Yeah, for the next time because I didn't have a chance to say it, but left side middle is where we're gonna get it. Only looking at that one because I know that's where I'm getting it. Rats. I think my overall favorite Pokemon game, like of all time that I've played, if I had to pick one, this is tough. There's a lot of really good ones. I think favorite, like I can go back and play it again and again and again. I don't know this stuff. I think Heart Gold is up there, and a lot of that's probably nostalgia reasons too. Like I played the crap out of that game um, alone, like so many hours into it, but also with friends too. Like I played a lot with friends, a lot of battles. Um, Same thing for like Black and White. That's when I first started to like see what like or like online Wi-Fi battles on YouTube and stuff, like watching Shofu or Hayden or people like that do those. So that one's like really nostalgic. So, I mean, same X and Y was the first time that I like made a competitive team to play and played online. Just remember all the breeding all the Aggie slash Sun and Moon. I played quite a bit. Uh, but yeah, I think favorite is probably Heart Gold. I feel like I could go back and play that as many times as I wanted. Um, just something about walking through like the Johto region. Really loved the like aesthetic of it. And going through, and then getting to go back to Kanto, because Fire Red's probably honestly it's probably the game I've played through the most. But I remember when I was a little bit younger, same copy of Pokemon Gold I have now doesn't save. I need to change the battery, but I would just replay and replay and replay the beginning of that game. So like I can do up to probably third badge with Whitney, um, so quick in that game, and like I've done it with different Pokemon, different starters, all this stuff. Like there's a lot of really cool like times. Just oh, we have a long car ride. Let me start a new gold save file and see how far I can get before we get there, kind of thing. But and none of it was ever saved. So like hours and hours and hours of just lost save like gameplay that I would never be able to have. So and that's like original gold. It's not even hard gold. So I guess that's probably one that's up there too. Which I'm excited to actually go back through and play. Yeah, yep. Just like demos and games. I did the same thing with Link to the Past for Super Nintendo. Um, Game wouldn't save, so I just kept going back and playing through the beginning of it. I think that's you don't really have that anymore because like either replacing save batteries or emulating a game or so many different there's like it's so accessible to progress through the game, but so many times as a kid I was like playing against myself to see how far I could get in a limited time and stuff. So I think that's really cool. I think that's part of the reason like challenges in like games like this are so appealing to me, and like most of the time self-imposed challenges like getting a living dex or how fast can I get a living dex, stuff like that. I think that's where the appeal comes from is all the times having to do that. Another game, Super Mario World. I play up to that third castle so many times. Leave the Nintendo on to see how far I could get. I think the furthest I ever made it was like fifth into the fifth castle, without turning the Nintendo off. But I love playing that one for the Game Boy. And if I'm ever like just on my Switch on the TV, not sure what I want to do, I'll play Super Mario World. And I always unlock the secret level above the first ghost house if you don't do the water. Love that. Just little secrets and Easter eggs in games are really cool. Pushing close to 2,400 encounters already. Just checked and update on the Amazon driver. They're at Taco Bell. Just chilling. So hopefully they're just grabbing some food and gonna bring my package over here, man. 37. I don't know. That's pretty quick. All right. We'll see if he turns green. It's only a couple more resets. That'd be sick. I don't know if it'll be exactly 37 because I'm counting by 8 every time, but within that margin, we'll call it. Be crazy if it's on the exact game that would be the 7th encounter, though. I don't want to try to do the math to see how many more resets that is, but if I had to guess, I think I'm gonna get it in the probably the 10,000s. Is my that's my read. Like realistically, like somewhere in the mid 10,000s. 8192, 8196, one of those ancient odds. I think it's 8192. Yeah. So I think it'll be about this many over odds is what I think I'll get it. So if I need to do another like 8,000 encounters, is what I really need to be better about doing some of these off stream too. Just to again push that number up and try to complete that bingo card. I need to really do some work on that. I put the Mellow as the free space, and I haven't even finished playing Scarlet and Violet through that replay. Still got time. But I think there's a couple hunts that we can really try to knock out on there. Another one I'm excited for is the Trico hunt, the soft reset for that one. I'll probably only duel or quad hunt that. There's no shot I'm going to do 8 for that guy. There's too many buttons to try to sync up. We're at 24, 22, so 2 more resets is the hard read. Okay, for it to be at 24:37, with how I have them set up on my screen, it needs to be in the bottom second from the right. So, like directly under my camera, straight down here. That's where that needs to be. All right, let's see. Nope. Hard read was wrong. Bella, you suck. Your hard read was wrong. Just kidding, you don't suck. This Amazon driver sucks. That's what sucks. They're at Taco Bell. Says I'm supposed to get it anytime between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. Probably just killing time before their shift ends. I don't know how all that works. You'd think they just, the sooner you get the packages done, the sooner you go home. If not, then that's BS, and I feel bad for them. At the same time, you're already over here. Dude, first, what's up, Clovis? How's it going? Second, yeah, basically, dude. They're trolling me. Just at the Taco, like, bring me a Baja Blast if you're gonna sit at the Taco Bell for 30 minutes. How you been, dude? I hope well. Just trying to get a green Mewtwo on its birthday, right? It'd be such a sick thumbnail. It'd have a little party hat on. That's good to know. Good to know. But yeah, when I watch Twitch, I'm usually a lurker too. There's not a lot of times that I'm like active in chat. I don't know if you saw, but I'm now a coach, no longer working for Big Pharma. I'm a head esports coach. Got my own program now. Oh yeah. Still think the OG Pog was better, but the snake's fine. Oh, it was like a whole controversy. Dude said some stuff, I think, on Twitter or something. Classic internet drama. Oh no. Ban this guy. Do not go to that.com. Alright, your computer. Not mine. But our network. Maybe don't. Yeah, I mean, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna unban and repost that message myself and see if we can't get some free candy out. It was not candy. It never is. It's never candy. I need to finish editing my next video. Got like a recap coming out from DA weekend that I have a good chunk of it done. Like I just need to put in some more clips and stuff. But I definitely need to go through and do like some fine tuning stuff. Hopefully I can do that tomorrow. I think I'll have some time. I'd like to try to post it this weekend slash early next week. I appreciate that, man. I know I just randomly cross posted that first short just to see what would happen. It wasn't too bad. Didn't do bad on TikTok, and then Instagram got more views than I thought it was going to. But I think I'm gonna try to. My goal for this year is at minimum one video per month and one short per month. Obviously, would like to do more than that, but I think that's a good amount with like still working a full time job and stuff. So I think that's the goal. I'm excited for it. It's good to like flex the creativity and have some fun doing it. I only open TikTok one to post that, or if Bella tells me, "Hey, open TikTok and watch the thing I sent you." I'm not on there a lot, but yeah, I scroll YouTube Shorts like crazy, and I also do Instagram Reels. Sometimes the Reels be kind of crazy though. Me and Samuel send a lot of Reels back and forth. That tells you all you need to know. They are. It's like if I'm in a certain mood and want to see some stuff, I'll just go over to Instagram, have a couple chuckles, and then head back to YouTube Shorts. So I very carefully pick which ones I like, and not because they're I don't I like bad ones. There's some really awful ones that I still like, just because I think it would be really funny for people to just be scrolling and they're like, "Oh my god, why did I see this?" And then it's just me, my little circle down in the bottom, floating with the heart. I actually had Samuel actually sent me one. He said, "Thank you for liking it because then now it's on my feed, and I will not repeat what was in that reel at all." I think, and it's my hope, that you only see that if you're following each other. I just want to give my friends a good laugh. That's it. Same thing with my TikTok reposts. That's like very carefully curated to just some random stuff that I think like if someone ever tries to stalk my page and like look at my reposts and stuff, they're like, "What is going on?" And that's kind of the goal for those. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. Might have to go back through and change some of those likes just in case. Just a couple of them. Just the more unhinged stuff. I think that's a valid reason to go back through the Instagram likes. One, I get to relive some chuckles, see all the stuff that I liked before, but then two, yeah, clean up that footprint. Yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes I think the funniest what I see sometimes is like stuff that I'll go to like though, like my high school social studies teacher, like it's like some really foul stuff too. So it's like sometimes it's those interactions that make me want to keep liking stuff, but then it's like yeah, now I'm gonna be like coaching kids or recruits could look me up and try to follow me. Really, like I'm gotta do this weird like, should I turn it to private and not use it for social media and stream stuff, or what? Because I don't want to make a whole new Instagram. I don't want to have to manage another page. I already do that for job, but I also like want to post cool stuff and not have it all be private. So not sure. I guess that's probably the easy solution is just switch to private though. Just not let anyone follow me. Yeah, they're like the best thing is seeing like teachers or people who you would not think would like something like that or feel that. I think 100% it does because then people can kind of see what I'm up to and um, like how ingrained in esports and gaming and stuff I am. I think it's only a benefit. Like I'm legitimately building this esports team. At the foundation is going to be like social media and content and stuff like that on YouTube. So to be doing that personally, I think will be good to show that like we really are invested in it. Uh, just to get the kids up and going and help them get a platform with what all they want to do. It's pretty cool to be like literally starting this program from the ground up. Like there's literally like when I took over, there are no players on the team. They are not a part of any leagues or anything like that. So it's me finding people to play and yeah. So we don't have the teams or what games set yet. Probably Smash, Fortnite, and Valorant. I think are the three that I'm really gonna push for. Just because I feel like I can recruit in those. But it's really up to who I have on campus and what teams we can field in the fall with any recruits that we get. That'll be what we really decide to compete in. But I think Smash and Fortnite are the easiest to at least start with those in the fall. I think we got a couple players who have like actually played Smash competitively. Go to some bigger events and things like that, so they'll be able to help teach and uplift some people who are joining for the first time. Yeah, I've looked at League of Legends, but the hard part is young kids aren't playing it anymore. Unless like Arcane is gonna make a bunch of kids want to have mental illness and play League of Legends. Um, oh, what did I do? Oh no. B B B B B. Oh, I started a new game. That's what it is. Let's just reset. Scratch all those. I hit like I think I hit like the bumper or something. But yeah, like League, man. I would love to have a League team. I think it's a fun esport to watch. Can do some cool stuff around it, but there's just not kids playing it that are getting ready to go to college, which is probably like net positive for the effects that League can have on people. But sucks when you're trying to recruit for as many games as possible. We can also only do so much because we're working with limited space right now. So I'm trying to grow the team, get as many people as possible, so that we can get some more space. That's why I'm looking at some of those more like broad games that a lot of people could play. Um, to bring them in, grow, and then get into some of the niche stuff once we have the kids who play those. It's like completely frozen. Uh, hit Alt F4. See if it'll close whatever's on. It's right next to the space bar on the left side. One sec. Oh no, it's frozen. This is probably closed. Let your auto save some. What do we do? Hold the power button. Rip. I'd give them a picture back on. Yeah, yeah. Her computer died. We need to get some more. I think it's a RAM issue. We might have to get you better. We might just. I mean, we have that whole like box that Kenton brought that we can test. We never took your computer part to test them. Got to do some troubleshooting. Okay. Yeah, 33 years old and on the league team. That's. I mean, I'd say there's a few people like around our age, or maybe just a couple years younger, but that's where it kind of cuts off. Not a lot of, because kids like grew up playing Fortnite and stuff like that. So there's not as much interest in league. Close to doubled my encounters so far this stream. I think I started it. I wrote it down. 1534. So get pretty close to having doubled. So need to do about 250 more encounters somewhere in there. Yeah, I mean, the shiny odds for this are 8192, so I'm like 4 times under odds right now. So I don't expect to get this until like 10,000, truthfully, in terms of encounters. Print it down this time. So I don't think it'll be too bad. I expect this to be a long one. It always takes a while to hunt in these old games. That's why I'm doing it 8 times with just a couple button presses, trying to maximize as much as I can do. I'd like to get it soon, but I doubt that I'll stream for a whole lot longer. Um, oh yeah, new games. Well, modern odds for every game after like X and Y, I think, it's halved. So it's 40, whatever 8192 divided by 2 is. Yeah, 4096. So that's base odds in the newer games, like on the Switch and stuff. Uh, Old games, shiny odds were doubled, and like there's no shiny charm or things like that to make them as common. And then in like Legends or Scarlet and Violet, you just have so many more encounters because everything's in the overworld. So it really does feel like there's so much more common. Same thing with like Pokemon Go. Like that one's really um, odds are really good in that game, and you pick up the phone after a while of playing, you get a shiny within the first couple days. Yep. Yeah, and then like games like Rogue, like they boost the odds like crazy. I actually never played Rogue. I thought about it, but I normally just stick to playing the original games kind of as is. Not that there's anything wrong with. I grew up playing ROM hacks like crazy. I think Pokemon Light Platinum was a really fun one to play on emulators. And Pokemon Glazed was really cool too. But here lately, I've just been like playing on the original games, just playing through them. Made a bunch of challenges I want to make videos on, and that's been good for me. So I'm excited to see what they do next for Pokemon. I think Curveball, Scarlet and Violet DLC later this year after ZA. A lot of people are predicting a remake of some of the old games. I think it'd be cool. New fans to go back and experience an old region. Um, but yeah, just so much stuff to do in Pokemon games because like I have just about one of every game ever, so I can go back and play them anytime and to complete the Pokédex, restart games, so much stuff to do. Yeah, if I were to be shiny hunting something in Scarlet and Violet and was at this many encounters, I would feel like there was something wrong with my game. Road was so much of an addiction. Emulator on the phone. Yep. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, emulator on the phone's so much fun. Yeah, you don't have an iPhone, so you have so many good options for the emulator. But the Delta emulator for the iPhone that they finally came out with was really good. I mean, I think what Visual Boy, I think that's what I'm using now on the computer. But that one's when I had a Android phone back in the day, that's one that I always ran. But yeah, just downloading some of those like for if you want to like play through like traditional Pokemon game, but it's a ROM hack. Check out Light Platinum. That's one I always recommend. It's a brand like whole new region, characters from all the old games and from the anime and stuff. Like that one was really fun to play through as a kid, and even like pretty recently. I think I probably played it freshman year of college. Played through it again. I always liked back in the day watching let's plays of those ROM hacks because there's only so much you can do with a let's play of a OG Pokemon game, but like to experience something that fans created going through was always really cool to just watch the YouTubers go through and do it. There's a couple that ended up being problematic, but every kid had a YouTuber they watched as a kid that ended up being problematic. But a couple of them like still make content to this day. Yeah. Yep. I had an action replay too. Um, I remember I used it to just get a bunch of Master Balls, and I was like, no, I don't want to put the Pokemon in the game, but I'm gonna be able to catch everything no matter what. So I had a bunch of Master Balls and like my original copy of Pokemon Pearl. I had a friend who would like put the Pokemon in his game and stuff, which I always felt like it was cooler to catch the Pokemon and experience it. But I'll take all the help I can get to catch them, like all the items and balls and all that stuff. So my action replay ended up breaking actually, like it just like it broke like a broken heart. But yeah, it just popped and it was done. I also had one of the flash carts where you could download the game on the SD card, put it in the DS cartridge, and put it in your DS. So I had one of those as a kid. There's so many games, and that's like a really viable way to um, do like event distributions for Pokemon games, and like for the old ones, like Gen 3 that were all wireless, Gen 4. You can just use flash carts to distribute those out. Um, or just for someone who wants to just play the games and doesn't feel like they need to have the physical media, emulators are great for that. All right, time for an Amazon guy update. See where they're at. Okay, is now arriving anywhere between 7:30 to 9:30 instead of 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. It says they're like right here. Watch them put it by the mailbox. It looks like that's where they're at least the truck is. I hope it's not. I mean, it's not raining out, I don't think. It's not super cold down here. It might rain. I just don't have to walk over there. It's like low key kind of heavy. Some of this stuff probably is. I got like a dual monitor slash laptop stand. So I'm gonna mount monitor on the right, have my laptop on the left for my desk at work, and then just some other stuff to help get that set up the right way. So really hoping that I can, if I have to walk to the mailboxes to get it, it's not very far. They usually just drop them off at the door, no issues. Granted, there are like 5 apartments that look exactly the same, so I can understand just copping out going to the mailboxes instead of figuring out which building is which. I'd probably do that. Come on, little green boy. I think I'll probably end once I hit 3,000 encounters. I feel like that's a solid spot to stop. Uh, Might hunt some more later off stream, but I think I'm gonna have to go get this from the mailbox and kind of want to edit a video. Yeah, that's so crazy. Like that's such a weird thing to be like. Obviously, they're just taking the box and rolling the dice, hoping it's something good. But imagine opening that and just seeing a puzzle of two people together. That's wild. Which is so like what I don't understand why people steal packages, and that's why I'm like low key like tracking this person hardcore. It's like I haven't had any issues with packages being stolen here yet, um, but I always like try to pick them up right as they're put down, so I don't have to worry about it. But that's insane. Like, and it just depends on your driver, because like it could just be some person who doesn't really care and just kind of throws it down wherever, um, and then you're done. It's like, wow, like I get it. It can be tough, but that's like the job. So I think that's my least favorite part about living in an apartment is just the mail situation. It's like, I've done that for I think it was FedEx one time. Like I watched them just drive by, and I'm like, hey, like no, like apartment one, like yeah, I don't get it. But one time, I think it was actually FedEx down here. I ordered a present for my dad, and it showed as delivered. They took a picture of it, but it was a picture, and I only had one package, and it was on top of another box in front of a door that had a mat. I'm like, I don't have a mat in front of my door. It, okay, it looks like my apartment's, but like where in the whole apartment complex is it? And it ended up like, granted, I'm ground floor, so there's a one in front of my apartment number, right? So it's pretty easy to tell one, two, three going up. And it was on the third floor, just way off in the corner. So it's not even like it was like third floor, my same number. No, it was completely different. It's ridiculous. It's like that. What did you just see that it was building this number and just throw everything down in front of a random door? Like what the heck? Killed me. Anytime I do have to like walk by a bunch of apartments, the one that has a ring doorbell, I make faces in front of it though, like sticking my tongue out at them and stuff. 2974. Couple more resets. No, overall, like I'm excited. I know this hunt's tedious, and I'm just hitting the same couple buttons on my controller at the same time, but I'm excited for. Like I will get this Mewtwo. It's just a matter of like how long is it gonna take me to get it. Uh, I'm excited for it, and I'm excited for all the other upcoming challenges I have, and then really for Pokemon Day here in a couple weeks. I'm excited for that one. I hope it's usually in the morning, so I'll either take a half day from work because I won't be doing anything, or just work from home that day and watch it on the side while I do like all my emails and stuff. But I'm excited for Pokemon Day. Hopefully, we get some good news. Like I said, I think my curveball is Scarlet and Violet DLC to hold us over. And this is based on a leak that came out way back when Scarlet and Violet was first released. I think it said DLC 1 this time and DLC 2 when the Switch 2 releases. And now we're at the Switch 2 release date, and I think that they could launch a DLC 2. But it very much is the journey. All right, last set of resets to bump us to 3006. Almost shout out Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas. Or maybe that's 2000 late. I can't remember. 2000? They told us in 3000. All right. No shiny there. That's all good. Yeah, I do. I think a DLC could be good. Keeps people on Scarlet and Violet for longer. Um, if not, ZA will come out soon, so I think just a couple months for those, and then that can keep people kind of tied over and stuff. But yeah, I think that'll probably do it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. It's good chatting, parasocially, kind of, I guess. Uh, we'll have to link back up here soon. I know I'm down south and stuff, but we'll get something figured out. Definitely appreciate the support though, man. It means a lot, and glad to see you here and watch my videos and stuff. I'll make them extra special and good for you, for sure. But good stream. Like I said, we almost doubled. We're just a little under double the encounters we had at the start of stream. So good to kind of chug through some of those and get some more Mewtwo encounters. But yeah, that's definitely gonna be it for stream, and I'll see you next time. Peace.